Welcome back, everybody. Oops, as my camera freaks out for a moment there. We are in game 1 in a fresh best of 3. This is now the losers bracket we've jumped down to, rather. If you're with us live on Twitch, make sure you hit ! brackets in chat to take a look at the brackets of who's going up against what. The winner of this series plays against Illusion, and I'm actually really excited for that. The top half as well has really good 4 players to see who goes through, but at the moment, we focus on the game at hand. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, once again, we find the red Protoss player from IVD Gaming, Suppy, aka Puck.
And spawning in the bottom. This time it's not Scarlet, it's actually EG Suppy.
So Suppy is a very fun guy to cast. I think the problem is, Suppy has got like really consistent like win streaks whenever I see him. You know, one day he takes like the most amazing win you've ever seen in your life, and then game number 2, it's just like he's playing like a bronze leaguer. I don't know. I really
bronze leaguer.
Okay, maybe that's a little too harsh. But what I do mean is like we see him a lot in these tournaments where he comes out strong, but then finishes slow. I think with how short this bracket is, despite it being a losers match, still, I think he's got the potential to get through. But the problem is there's only 1 slot available for these losers matches. So while you get 2 from the winners, only 1 from the losers bracket, and it's a lot of people you got to fight through to get there. I just hope he can. I just hope he stays strong the whole way through. Is my point here.
Everyone has to stay strong.
Yeah,
Suppy
but I mean,
especially. I think he's a pretty emotional player.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at though. Like, there's some players who really just shrug off a loss. They don't really get fatigued after 4 hours of playing. And then there's players who are like, you know, when they're at their best, they're fantastic, but then that can shift really quick. I think, aren't you? You're part of that cool Zerg chat club, aren't you? With all these guys, anyways.
Yeah, I'm in there. Actually, we have some Koreans now too, like Solar and Sue and.
Actually, I like Solar was tweeting about that too. Like, I found all the new friends or whatever. Like when he joined you guys on the chat.
Wow. Look at the Suppy with the mind game saying his win rate versus P is 30%. But actually, it's not mind game, it's true. Your win rate versus me is 10%. Oh, Suppy, you scared, bro?
This is like the most. Can we just real talk? This is like the nerdiest smack talk ever, though. Statistically, I'm gonna beat you this game. I mean,
lady. Okay, I have to guess something. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll see in a few. Right now, of course, Suppy did open here with spawning pool and hatchery. He didn't go 3 hatch before, or 3 hatch gas before pool or anything. Something we do sometimes see a lot of greed come out in King Stage Young Station. So nice to see a more standard opener, I guess. It's worth noting, guys. These guys, a lot of the people we've cast today, they've been friends for years. They've been fighting each other for years. They may not be BFFs where they're holding each other's hands at events, but it's kind of that rivalry going on. So it's just friendly banter, and these guys are just having a good time. Suppy, of course, is like one of the nicest people, seriously. There's a lot of people in esports you work with, and you sometimes have a good time, you shake your hands, walk away. Suppy is like one of the nicest guys I've had the pleasure of interacting with, so. It's just being really silly what this is going on. Third hatchery does get taken pretty quick here, so actually going to play Gasless here as the opener versus Protoss can be a little bit risky. One thing we have seen Suppy struggle with in the past, guys, a lot of gateway all-ins. Well, I shouldn't even say all-ins, just aggression. Like, even if it's 3 gates, 4 gates off 2 bases, we see Suppy lose his third a lot in these sort of matchups. Hoping you can play strong here versus Puck, because once again, when you open Gasless like this, yeah, you're going to have a lot of drones, maybe you have a couple lings, but you're really, you got to use those queens to great effect, because roaches are going to be a far-off thought. However, as stated before in the last series, Puck is a player who, while I wouldn't say a 3-gate or 4-gate is out of his vocabulary, it's not necessarily his go-to. Like, we're going to see him prioritize plus weapons over, like, naked 4 gates a lot of the time. And in fact, there we go, +1 weapons. So not just for cannons. He's going to walk with a Stalker. This is something we can just point out that he does do. Against slowlings in low amounts, this is pretty nice. It's also good at sniping off the creep tumors, as we see. Picked up pretty quickly. They are armored for some reason. I don't know where the armor is on these bad boys. Maybe those spikes. But anyways, they do take the bonus damage from the Stalkers, which is what makes them specifically good. So good for picking them off. And Ling's off of creep without that speed bonus. Not gonna have a lot of fun. Suppy is just like, he's like a big Twitch meme. I mean, there's the emoticon. If you guys don't know, type this in chat like right now. Seriously, I want to see that spammed. But yeah, it's the arenas. Backing over Puck. Alright, he's getting the sentries out. Would like to see that 3rd gateway come down if he's going to go for the aggression, but he's not really snuck much out, so I imagine it's probably going to be an expand. Actually, yeah, we got the program over there now, so Not looking to get aggressive, but just take an early-ish Nexus. Now, this isn't as insanely early. This isn't the 5-minute Nexus he took against Scarlet, but we did get to see the benefits of that on Nimbus towards his economy. For those who missed the series, basically, Puck was able to just constantly pump out units and match Scarlet blow for blow and then some. And a lot of it comes down to the way you get this third up. Now, this isn't the fastest third in the world. But, yeah, this is his choice to do instead of the gateway aggression. Welcome back.
I'm back. What's going on? Sorry about that.
You've really missed nothing. It's been a really passive game.
Oh, but the third base for Puck is already almost done. So this is, again, really strong.
Well, yeah, that's what I was talking about just before you sat back. Like, this isn't the 5-minute Nexus versus Scarlet, but coming down at the 7-minute mark is still pretty nice.
Yeah, very nice, I would say.
Oh, but Suppy's actually taking a 4th. This is like... Yo, are we playing like no rush 20 minutes right now? What it feels like, but all Puck really did this game was pick off a creep tumor or two. Nothing too crazy has gone down.
Puck's getting his tech out really nicely in the Twilight Council, Robo, and the Forge, so he can get all those going. His third base is pretty much getting saturated at this moment. He's actually doing a poke out right now with sentries. He's got a probe on the map to make pylons. So Suppy has no choice here but to make a lot of units, which is actually what he's doing because he's scared of, you know, one of those fake thirds into gateway all-in kind of things.
Just small update here, guys. For those who are wondering, the ESL mainstream with Rotterdam and Nathanius will be covering Major versus Polt and Scarlet versus Violet. Both of those matches will be on the mainstream, so if you're looking for Scarlet, I don't know when it starts, but that's where it's going to be, 100%. But getting caught out here in the middle of the map is a little bit scary. Force fields might go down. Yeah, that's actually a sick donut, actually.
Yeah.
Recall, yeah, it's an option.
Unless he wants to do it again. But then you always have to recall.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. He's like not chopping any of the lings in. He's just forcing everything out, so we just see Suppy disengage.
Oh, more force field. But the recall has to happen soon. Oh, there we go. The Observer got recalled too.
Little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. As he does get the sentries out alive, which was the priority there.
And all this time, Suppy's been only making Zergling, so he doesn't have his 4th saturated as he would like, because you don't want to stay on 3 base saturation versus Protoss.
Oh, it's immortal! No! Ah! No force fields to save it. He burned them all on the other side of the field. That's really unfortunate.
This is what you want to see. And the sentries dying is really, really good for Suppy.
This is huge for Suppy, yeah. Oh, yeah, you could warp in a couple more, but Puck's hardly on a lot of gateways. He's only just now putting down his additional ones. So, like, 5 gates in total to warp off of is not a lot, but looks like he won't break these walls. He could just go for the 3rd. I'm a little surprised we didn't see him focus that, but going for the Forge might get those level 2 weapon upgrades. Will get those level 2 weapon upgrades, and this opens the way for the links into the base.
I'm afraid Puck's gonna lose a lot of his valuable units here.
It's not even the, I mean, like, it's not even the units. Like, shutting down level 2 weapon upgrades for someone who's going blink heavy with Stalkers, I think, is like the biggest deal right now because Stalkers, like, this will be Puck moving out in the late game with like level 2 instead of level 3. And while a level 3 weapon upgrade for a Stalker isn't like a critical upgrade like level 1 versus Lings or something like that for Zealots, it is such an important part to have. Like, there's so many times where you'll see Stalkers barely not volley down 1 unit. You blink forward. We saw it earlier too, like the Broodlords in Scarlet's game, you know? Each of the Broodlords lives with like 5 health. Not the same scenario, but the same example where you won't have that damage.
I feel what Puck could have been doing better is hallucinate Scout with Phoenix because he has no vision of Suppy's tech tree at all. That's why he's making Immortals right now because he doesn't know if Suppy's gonna open with the Lings into Mass Roach, let's say, and you want to have Immortals versus that. And obviously, versus what Suppy's doing, I don't think you needed to make the Immortals that early.
You know, the other thing too is, despite pushing down that left side of the map, he never saw the creep and he never saw the 4th. So he might think Suppy is still in 3, but Suppy, of course, is on 4 base economies of Zerg with 74, 81 drones.
Infestors getting a nice fungal right in the center of the sentries. I think the sentries are gonna die.
Yeah, especially a little more. Even if they get away, they still have the fungal dot on them is the problem. So,
my god, they still get fungled when they recall. That's funny.
It's the damage still ticking, so they all die before they reappear. That really sucks. Dead in transit.
But then again, you know, you don't want to go into the map having no vision of anything. This is why hallucination is free now, because you can scout so good with it. To see where the army is, to see how many bases Zerg has, what kind of tech they're on.
I think Puck. Oh, I don't know why I do that. I hate those names. Puck is in such a rough spot, and as you said, a lot of this comes down to the way that Suppy had opened. But what's kind of ironic is Suppy's building into what will work out. Like with Ultras coming, suddenly the Immortals actually become useful.
Yeah, I think Puck just saw the masked links in the start, and then saw the Infestors, so he's thinking this has to be the Ultralisk follow-up with the masked queens, that is. Which is why he's preparing to get the Immortals out more, and also more Templars to make either Storm or Archons, both of which are strong versus Ultras and Zerglings.
So this is a small detail, but I really like what he's done with the pylons here. It helps wall it off, so you need less force fields. It also will benefit versus the Ultralisks later on, but that is a much later on statement, because Puck, he's going to be fighting around this fourth for a long time. I don't think there's going to be a lot of fights coming down here anymore.
And at the same time, Suppy is just being passive. He's getting his own upgrades. He's getting on Ultras in the event that Puck wants to do an attack on creep. The Ultras would just shut that down. He's getting his Greater Spire. And
I mean, Suppy's he's making a lot happen with a very small amount of links, and I like this a lot. The pylons for free over here are going to suck a little bit because, well, this won't necessarily supply block Puck. Yeah.
Oh, the Templars got feedback. They're going to die. Oh, they just died.
This sucks. The you know, the Immortal's actually going to go down here too. This is really unfortunate. Everything that Puck had to kill the kill is on the wrong side, defending that fourth base instead of the natural. So the Ultra is probably going to disengage here, but
yeah. So the problem with that over there is Puck had no vision of the map, so he doesn't know, just because Suppy split half of his units, where the majority of the units are.
Stargate came down. He's getting ready for Broodlords. Did he scout, or is he just playing blind? He's playing blind still.
The Stalkers are going to die here because there's so many fungals. Oh, the Immortals are going to die too, I think, because they are in the front.
It's not a whole hell of a lot of transfuses, but you know, the Infested Chance coming down here are going to help. Of course, as soon as Hardened Shield goes down, guys, Immortals are just as susceptible as any other unit to the Ultralisks. But this is the transition is going to be behind this.
Yeah, because you can't trade as Protoss player. After in the start, you lose all your sentries, and then you lose your other gas units in the later stages.
Well, I mean, big props to Suppy. He's landing some of the greatest fungals this game.
I think his it comes down to Puck not knowing where all the army is and what Suppy exactly has, because he went out too far there in the middle to get fungled, and at the natural he couldn't split his units as well as he would have liked, because he doesn't know where the main army is, behind the first group or the other group. And while the majority dealt with the Lings at the fourth, Suppy actually had all his army at the natural, and then he picked off some Templars. Well, this game is going exceedingly well for Suppy, especially with creep spread too. Yeah,
and those Broodlords are just finished morphing in now too, so this is going to be that the slow death as they come across the map.
Puck's anti-air, 2 Archons, 3 Stalkers, and 4 High Templars. Versus 7 Broodlords? I don't know.
Well, this is what I was saying. Like, he went for the Stargate earlier. This was a mistake he didn't do versus Scarlet for sure, but it's never going to be Tempest in time.
And the gateway wall off here actually helps Suppy too, because there's less room if Puck actually had Stalkers.
Okay, so Suppy's going to segment some units off here to the third. I like this choice a lot, because really there's 3 cannons here. The Lings will be able to deal with that really nicely.
Oh yeah, Suppy is a really big fan of this.
Yeah, as long as he keeps his Ultras and the Infestors nearby the Broodlords to catch the Blink Stalkers, I mean, he's good, but there's not even that many Blink Stalkers, and level 3 weapon upgrades only, like, just finished. This is not looking good for Puck. Not a good way to start
Puck's
the losers
losing
round.
probes at the third, too.
The whole position was kind of a cool move, though, actually. I like that a lot. That's what's saving the Nexus.
The High Templar is getting fungled once more. It's a really good sight to see for a Zerg player. Usually the High Templars kill your Infestors.
Yeah, okay, with the loss of this fourth, Puck was already struggling for cash. I think with 1 Tempest at a time for production, this is one of those desperation moves. Like, he doesn't want to just tap out right now, but, you know, he kind of... I don't see him winning this game.
Yeah, his army isn't that weak, it's just he can't replace it, and I don't think he can beat Suppy's army as is.
If he had some other money to get the extra Tempest out, maybe this looks a little bit differently, but...
Tempests are
good. Look at that! Yeah, the fungal growth locks everything down! GG!
Yeah, very well played by Suppy. Puck could have been better on the scouting.
Agreed. I mean, I didn't check before we leave, but I think he didn't even see the main at any point during that game. Yeah, it was the same versus Scarlet. I don't know why he's so reluctant to scout, but definitely an identifiable weakness. But